So I think really the most important part of all this is, your main controls are all down here, right? You got your tuner right there, which you can click on. You got a tuner. And turn it off, I guess, while you're playing. This is the most important control. It's the gain, for the input and the output. Keep your gain really nice and low. Otherwise, you're going to get a lot of distortion on that amp. You can turn up the volume as much as you want. Try and keep it somewhere so it's not completely, maxing out. That way you get a nice clean sound to work with and you can control your amp. Remember, the way you make these things go up or down is by holding them. So in our amp setup, turn that back down, get a nice clean sound. You can turn that up, and turn the volume up wherever you need it, whatever your amp gain is. Oops, turn that all the way. That looks good. Okay, and then you can change the cab, but I don't think you really need to do that much. Right now we have some effects set to delay, which you can turn on. And again, so the first delay is the amount of speed. This is the number of feedbacks, which you don't want to have a lot of. Cool. And then the level is, just how loud you want to hear it. That'll add something to our reverb. And on your amp, you can add some reverb. However much. That's kind of cool. Turn the effects off right now. Just press the button. And there are a couple other amps in here, and there's some other stops that you can put in. We put in the noise filter because that really helped to clean it up a little bit. And then the tools has a metronome and also has the tuner here. A couple places you can get it. Cool. There's the tuner. There were some user presets that you can choose from if you want to, just use a couple that are already set up for all the different clean, crunch, lead, and gain. Looper we're not using. This is some sort of trainer which we haven't figured out yet, but you should be able to click on the files and pull them in from your either Wi-Fi or music library. And then it looks like it gives the option to slow things down and play along with them.
Oh. That's a handy feature.
Yep. And the drums we were using the rock ones. So that plays along with the metronome setting. You've got the metronome when you set record. When you go to this record, there's a bunch of different views here, and that you change up here. You go to your files up in the corner, and you can create a new file if you want. Cool. And then you choose the track you want to record. If you want the effects on and so forth, you can. Arm it, and you can keep the metronome going over here by pressing that and holding it. Now I press the record button. Now we can switch to track number 2, and maybe for this, before we do that, let's go back, change the amp up a little bit. We'll go to the amp and turn on a little more gain. Turn down the volume a tiny bit. Cool. We could maybe turn up a little more noise filter there, so it keeps it quieter. And maybe I'll turn up a little more gain. Oops. Turn up a little more gain. And a little more treble, so it's got a little sharper sound. Presence too, get it really bright. Okay, so we'll go back to the recorder. On track 2, go back to the beginning. Cool. Press stop. And then you can do some things here. These other views let you adjust the EQ. This view over here lets you see the tracks. And there, if you click on the track, you can do some things like...
Line them up.
Yeah. delete. You can normalize the track. You can split a track, put it somewhere else. It looks like I just did something to kind of normalize the track there. And we had the undo features and so on. When you're recording, you can click undo and it undoes anything you just did. So go back to the beginning, play it. And you can, like, say I want that track louder. I want that a little louder. Make that louder or quieter. And I'll turn this down a tiny bit. That's the most important part. You can mute certain parts of the track. Or, you know.
Okay.
Cool. Back to this. Let me go back to the beginning. Yeah, this is the track. I think we should be able to get, yeah, you can extend the view a little bit so you can see things a little bit better. And I know we're going to be able to get into here. I think I just moved that. I did. So you can adjust. And
yeah, get it lined up exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things that you can do with it. Normalize should normalize the volume. I'm going to undo that. Cool. So yeah, you have a full little editor there that you can work with. We should be able to get in and actually select things and delete notes and stuff that are errors. This is something you might want to spend a little bit of money on to be able to add more tracks. That seems like a worthwhile thing. And remember, if you want to hook in the volume, go back here. We're going to go to the amp. And you could just turn the amp off. Cool. And that'll let you, and you can adjust the volume with the input selector here for your voice, and get a good little voice, clean, no guitar sound on your voice. Cool.
So if I put a microphone into it, you mean?
Yeah, just plug your microphone directly into here.
And then, and you're saying use a tuner to kind of check the pitches?
Yeah, you can use your tuner you can work on the tuner either down here or up in the tools. So what I was saying is for voice, just turn the amp off.
Yeah, so you take the amp off.
Take all that other stuff off.
Then you got your mic plugged in.
Yeah, you take off the the noise filter and everything like that.
Well, that goes away when you turn off the sound, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know if that was just turning the amp off or not. It looks like you can turn each thing off individually. Yeah, you can turn the amp or the cab simulator or the effects or the stomp on and off individually. So yeah, turn everything off when you're doing that. And then here you have a great little tuner. Just turn it on and you could sing and use that as your tuner.
Okay.
Cool.
After you turn everything else off.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't have to. Just it'll give you a cleaner sound.
Yeah.
This thing is super important for getting the right gain into the getting the right sound.
Okay.
So in your voice, you might need to turn that way up.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, you probably have to turn that way up, and just the output as you need. This is the gain, the real volume that it's picking up from your mic. You have some gain stages in the amp, basically for guitar gain for distortion, but this is going to be the volume that you go in and out at, and that'll really affect how much distortion you get from the setup. Cool.
Right.
I think that's all the really important things that you need. There's like a quick record here, but you use this stuff here, recorder, and then go between all those settings, between the save and load there. You can create a new one by using plus there. This is the best way to switch back and forth between your tracks and to do some mixing.
So right now we only have 2 tracks?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's this view where you can go in and do some editing. There's also, you can pull out, again, you can get some of the same things, like on this channel that you're on, you can adjust the treble and bass, or you can do it on on the other page.
Right.
They give you multiple ways to get to everything here, but that's all you really need. But this is really useful. Really works well. That's your page for, oops, I panned it. I didn't mean to. Let's see, sorry, it says see that center. Cool.
Cool. Yeah,
so I think you probably have to buy, you can buy more stuff. It'll have more, more options there, but it'll work for a few tracks, to help you work on things. Cool.
We got enough to work with for now.
Yeah. And at least you get used to using it, know everything is. If you want to add features, if you want to add more apps, you just buy whatever you want to work with.
Right.
But you can make everything you need to work with what you got right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Perfect.
Okay, that's enough.
All right, great. You just click it on.